Okay, I'm going to be setting this to public now. How long did this take me to 3:17? I'm kind of like 17 minutes late. I had a lot of tech issues. I think the mic is really close. I am debating on like hi. Oh my god. I was listening to something else before all this other stuff started. So, hello, welcome to the stream. I'm sorry that it took a few tries to if you saw the stream start and stop and start and stop, some of them are privated. They should all be privated actually. Um, I saw some issues with like my resolution and the speed that the stream was being outputted, and so I was all like, "Oh, there's definitely an issue." So I ended the stream, restarted it. It took me 17 minutes worth of tries, and now that everything should be good now, I think. Let me move this. Oh, let me. Okay. I'm hoping. There it is. Okay, so chat is going to work now. Sorry that your first chat didn't show up on stream. If you comment right away, right when the stream starts, I've noticed that those messages aren't sent over yet. They like take a delay. And so usually I start the stream once the chat works, like people are typing in chat and it shows up on the screen, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I want to start the stream. Like it's more officially started now. However, I did things out of order. Normally I'm on this page. And then I'm like, oh, okay, chat is starting to appear on stream now. So I would move over to this page and then I would start addressing chat. This is like in theory what I would do. I'm still getting the hang of things. Like I'm not any kind of professional streamer. Kind of just doing this. Oh, sorry. I need to roll my neck. I just decided to turn on a camera one day and start talking. And whether or not anyone is listening, that's kind of a different thing. I need to find a dock widget that's missing, or else I cannot read chat. Tools, no. View? Is it on view? How do I just read it off the screen? I might just read it off the screen. Let me move this out of the way. I don't need this. This is useless. This is pointless. And then I would be over here anyway. So that's how I'm trying to get into the flow of when I return, I'm going to try like a lot harder to try to start the stream on time. I don't care if like I'm okay with if the stream has to start later than it needs to, because it was usually because I was fixing a tech issue, but that I did fix the issue and we are streaming now, so it's fine. To me, it's fine because it's like, oh, I got value out of that because like I learned how to solve this problem, and realistically, I should not run into that same problem again, or I will run into the same problem again. I will be able to handle it better the next time. I'm thirsty. I'm thirsty. I'm having to die. Okay. Um. Anyway, so let's start by going over the title of the stream. Actually, so I wrote Cygnus Live. How do I write poems? Oh wait, I'm gonna change. I'm gonna change the title actually. This is what I meant to write. Oopsies. Save. So you can hit refresh. The title will change. I do not have this shown on screen, but I have a notebook and a pen. In fact, I have 3 pens. So I have 3 pens. And I'm going to use this one. I prefer to use this one for today. I just have a preference in pens. And I was going to write. So I'm actually going to I'm going to hold the notebook really close and I'm just going to like write. I think you should be able to hear this. So that's what we're going to do. I hope everyone is able to follow along with that really random crazy intro. Okay, so the intro is we are okay, having our live, and the title is Cygnus Live. How do I write poems to transmute negative energy into positivity? And so this is a practice that I've been doing, is that whenever I feel sad, I'm all like, I'm going to write a poem. Sigh, I can't hear anything because I'm on the phone with my friends and they won't shut up. Angry. Oh, well, actually, you know what? Get a piece of paper because I'm sorry. Oh, um, okay. Sorry, I lost my place. I was thinking. Oh yeah, use that negative energy and you can like get a piece of paper and maybe you could do the same thing, is like write poetry for yourself where you are like, oh, I feel so angry about this thing and I'm super angsty. And then so I'm just gonna like, I don't want to hold that energy inside of me. And so I put into words like, oh, I feel in a negative way. I'm all like, oh, this sort of thing happened and I don't feel good about it. And so we're going to use, myself and yourself as an example for yourself, is that you will write a poetry about you. You don't have to, but I will be writing a poetry about me, and you can spend that time to be writing this poetry for yourself. Yeah, I think that made sense. I think that was okay. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about the filter. Yeah. I'm sorry. Rule number 3, we don't say sorry. But yes, okay. You can't hear anything because you are on the phone with your friends. Hopefully you're able to like just go check back on the VOD at some point and you can catch this part again. So now that chaotic, that was one heck of an intro. Hi, the stream started. We are 8 minutes and like 1 seconds into the live, and also like 17 minutes late to start. So that makes it 3:25-ish. I'm just looking at what the clock says right now. It's like 3:25-ish. Let's see. 17 plus the 8? Yeah, that makes 25. Oh, sick. Yeah, math makes sense. That's good. That's reassuring. Okay, so I may or may not go into like, oh, how do I write a poem? I think everyone can kind of like find their own way. There are rules, but also no rules, right? There can be rules if you choose there to be rules when you write poetry. Oh my god, I like how this makes like a little flick, like that's kind of convenient. And so I was so where this all kind of like started from was I began writing poetry many months ago, only because relative to my life, this feels like the longest I've ever put effort into something, and I didn't even realize it. Oh, I need to move this, sorry. It was, my mic is falling off of the stand, so I need to fix that. I only just noticed it now, like just now. And it's important for me to fix things as I notice them, because I will forget about them, and if I don't do them right away, they won't get done. And I need to close that out. So I have my paper, I have my pen, and sometimes most of the time, I would write it on my phone, but now I'm actually recently been writing it on paper, and it makes me feel better because I don't want to get screen fatigue. I'm trying to do a conscious thing where I'm looking at my screen less. Yes, I know I overconsume my screen a lot, and I know, so that's why I'm trying to, like, go figure. I I'm streaming and that means I'm on a screen. But at least I'm not on my phone doing most of the things on my phone. Like I live by my phone. Sometimes I like out doing things and I know I'm not on my phone. I'm all like I consciously know I'm like, oh, I'm not on my phone right now. That's because when I go out, I would rather not be on my phone as much. But when I'm at home, I know I use my phone a lot. And that's been something that's like, positive and negative for me. Like it gives me so many things, but it also takes a lot away in the quality of my life. It it's a exchange, trade offer. You give me this, I give this back in exchange, but it's a different thing. You give up one thing you know you're going to be giving up. Sometimes you don't even know you're giving that up. And with what you give up, you get something out of it. And hopefully it's worth it. Or it's like what you were even going for. Because you might receive something, but that might not even be the thing that you were aiming for when you did that sacrifice and you wanted something out of it. What if you put in that sacrifice? You didn't even get the thing you wanted. So I hope you at least, with the exchange that you give, you get, you are, you know that you're doing it so that you can receive that thing that that exchange is supposed to give you. You're like, I was aiming for this thing, I sacrificed this and this in order to transmute and give me that other thing, the thing that I was aiming for. It did come at the cost of other things, but I got a thing that I know I was aiming for. Sometimes that thing helps you do other things in the future. I'm not sure if that's the point I was trying to make. I was really talking about something. I started writing poetry. I didn't even realize it was poetry. I thought it was like lyrical, but yeah, poetry has such a broad definition that I'm all like, literally do anything, have rules or don't have rules, is poetry to me. I recently just read like the Dada section in, we hit the Dada section in like my class material, and so I watched a lot of stuff, I read a lot of stuff, and it was about, hey, this and this and this and this and blah da 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 da. And I've like tricked myself into doing skills. There's some things I'm like, oh, I have to intentionally know that I'm making art, and then I, like when I'm drawing, I'm like, oh, I want to draw, but I'm like, oh, I'm going to be getting better at drawing if I draw. So I have to push myself to draw, and I'm all like, I'm going to draw. I will become better at drawing. Then there's the other thing where I'm all like, oh, I randomly do stuff throughout the day. I don't even give it a label. I don't even realize I'm doing it. I know that I am doing a thing, and I know how to do the thing that I'm doing. But one time I was, okay, not one time, but like over the course of a long time, what I did multiple times, kind of like you don't really, bad example. So anyway, I was writing poetry without really giving it a label. I only started really giving it a label once I was like 2 years after the fact. I was all like, oh, I've been doing this for 2 years. I did realize, but I also hadn't realized. I knew that it was 2 years long. I could trace back to when I first started. Like I could literally find the tweet where I started. I did most of this, like I said, on my phone, and I wrote those poems and I posted them on Twitter, on across multiple different accounts. There has been poetry of some regard across multiple different accounts, and people who know them, and some people who don't know them don't know them. The accounts, the different accounts. There are people who are like, you have like 4 Twitter accounts, and they think it's really batshit insane, and it is, admittedly, batshit insane. There was a reason why I did it. It's not like I didn't know I was doing that. It takes you don't accidentally create a Twitter profile, at least for the most part. I don't think anyone accidentally, you have to sign up, you have to do this, you have to set up this, and they do the tutorial or whatever, and you land into the app or the site, and you have to set up all these things. Like, that's not by accident. Anytime you post, you have to like actually go out of your way to type something, hit post, right? So all of it was very like, I sent out a tweet. That was a message I wanted to put down, sent out, whether or not someone sees it or doesn't see it. And there were people who did see it, and there were people who didn't see it. They'll be able to read it. So that's the kind of poetry that I write. I was not formally taught of like, oh, look at all these styles of like poetry. I did read a bunch of different styles. However, this is still like mostly my own, how I just feel comfortable doing it, and maybe I borrow other parts of like this type of poem that I've read as an example. But there's such a huge range of poem. Like the shortest poem is one character long, and it's not even a real character. It was like a triple bump M. So like a M is okay, like an N is like that, and an M is like that. And there's a character that doesn't really exist in it. That is what the poetry is like this meaning behind a character, and it's the, can this still be poetry if you're using one symbol that's not even a letter, that doesn't even make up a word, or maybe it does mean a word. But the thing is like it only makes sense to the person who like did it, is like, oh, three bumps. It was the letter M, but with three bumps, or like three letter N's stacked together in a row. And people are all like, accepts the fact that that is like to them poetry. And then there is sorry, I looked at something. I wasn't okay. People are like, oh, that's poetry. It has this blah 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 meaning. And so that's one way of writing poetry. Like the most open-ended example I've ever seen of poetry was a character that was, it was a word, sort of a word, that was one character long, or just was a character separated from a word, or it's just so strange because it's a character that doesn't exist. It's a bump. Like I don't think, any like Roman like character system has like an M anywhere on their glyphs. That's not like an input code that you can ever type and like receive a character that looks like this in the same way it means poetry to what this artist wrote in the first place. And so, I'm gonna set that aside. And I still have the rest of the paper. The paper is this long, and this right there is the part that I was writing on earlier. But I'm all like, okay, that's not actually part of the poetry that I was gonna write. That was literally just testing out my pen. And so, again, this poetry was a style of poetry I developed just by doing it. It was like a self-cultured. I just kind of sat in my room and wrote this. Okay, there's a notification I need to check. Okay, so that hasn't started yet. I have a thing on the side that is over there. I don't think I'm gonna pay attention to it too much. It's just, okay, I will admit. So Ryoma has a stream at 3. And I have it on like the separate device. I don't like having a stream on the same device as what I'm streaming on. I kind of actually have it on a whole separate device. It is on my tablet, which is why I'm not using my tablet in my stream today, like hooking up the screen, blah blah blah, showing you this, showing you that, what I normally do for Proseka. I am just using that as literally just a little TV on the side. Like I have a TV, except I don't own a TV, I own a tablet. And then so I set it up like, ooh, this is my TV, and that's a stream. I have it on the background, and I'm also streaming right now. I just wanted to watch the stream. Guys, he's playing Apex. You have to understand. And also, he's playing Apex with BB. And he's playing Apex with Rico, okay? In this house, we love women. And there's like, oh, yeah, okay, that other guy too. And so, let's write poetry that after I write it, I'll probably read it out loud, but most of the stream is gonna be kind of like a lot of silence, except you're gonna hear that. And that's just me. I have a pen, I have a paper, I have a mic, I have a phone camera that's tracking my model. Hi. And I have this space where I have a channel, and on my channel, I can turn on the live button, go live, and when I output this video, I put this setup that I put together in OBS, and it can like magically be sent over to the YouTube internets, like over the internets, that YouTube is going to be receiving this. And I have to, I'm just gonna make a note. This is something I misspelled that. Nine, okay. Took me 3 tries. Everything is taking me like 3 tries today. I need to remember that because I was like, one of the main reasons why this stream wasn't outputting correctly is because the resolution was at like a rate that was not good for my PC setup to handle. And so max, I should only be streaming at like 1080p. I would just be, you can see it, you can literally click that thing over there, unless they change the UI, then it might be over there. But the UI, as of right now, the setting is over there. If you click on that thing in the setting over there, you can just see, oh wait, on different devices. Okay, if the gear is like up there for some other people, it's in the top right corner over there, and then for some other people, the settings is down there if you're on desktop. And you can see in my quality, I am at 1080p max. I am at 1080p. When am I actually going to get to the part where I write the poem? Is that I wanted to sort of just sit with the stream for a bit and begin with poetry at my own time. I'm not gonna be all like, oh, okay, like, oh, we're okay. Let's see, 21 minutes into the live, and like, oh, I have to start writing poetry now. I'm just gonna give myself the time. Like, I will, when I feel ready, I'll just begin writing. I usually begin with one phrase, and then I use a second phrase that speaks back to that first phrase. Then I try to come up, and I write in a specific meter. This is just a me thing, so I can formulate it and do it repeatedly over and over again, and people can see that it's like always in this format that I write, unless I break the pattern. There's few exceptions where I'm all like, oh, but I need to break the pattern. But for the most part, there's an established pattern that I write, and so I write one line that is like, oh, I needed to give that a label and put it down. The second line responds and chooses to rhyme or not rhyme with the first line. Then in that section with those 2 lines, I usually have a space, and then in the third and fourth line, when said together, have to speak back to the first and second line. And then from the first, second, third, and fourth line, when you write the fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth line, they all need to speak back. The second half has to speak back to the first half. And usually it's like in the seventh and eighth line, I find almost the most important. The 5 and 6 set up the seventh and eighth line to tie it back to somewhere in the first, second, or third, fourth line as a whole. Like, or not as a whole. Depends. It's like if you want to speak to the whole, what do lines 1, 2, 3, 4 represent? And then you speak to that. Or like maybe you just only wanted to point out lines 3 and 4, and so I usually use rhymes or some sort of like pattern or this or that, so that 7 and 8 meet with 3 and 4 somewhere. That's how my math in my like poetry and math, how it happens in my head is I write the first line, I write a second line that meets with the first line, I write a third and fourth line together. I think about them together as I think about what I try to achieve with lines 1 and 2. And so even if I stop the poem at 1, 2, and 3, 4, that in and of itself should already have one strong concept. But to make an even stronger concept, I usually have another dual concept. I have some other concept I'm trying to hybridize and have them talk to each other. And so it says a second phrase, statement, clause, whatever, and that one needs to interact with the first one that 1, 2, 3, 4 are getting at the point of. There's a point to be said when you have lines 5, 6, 7, 8, and there's a point to be said when I write lines 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yuki, hi, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Explodes. Okay, so if you come here, but you missed the beginning part, when the stream is over, the live will go up as a VOD, and you can watch from the beginning. By the way, let me just say, the introduction is very chaotic. Not only did the stream take me several tries to get started, then it was still maybe like some kind of whatever stuff was happening at the beginning of the stream. Oh, Jay. Oh. You probably meant okay. Oh or okay? Oh. Anyway, so as the title says, I'm going to be writing poetry, and normally the reason why I write poetry is so I can take negative feelings that I'm feeling, and I don't want to keep them bottled up inside. So I put them down into words, and then I write something nice. Usually I have 5, 6, 7, 8, something positive to counterbalance some kind of negativity in 1, 2, 3, 4. Your keyboard is broken. My keyboard is broken. Well, wouldn't it be so funny if for whatever broken letters that you type, I will actually just say it that way? But hi, welcome. I'm glad that I turned, despite having so many issues at the beginning, people would still show up. Damn, sick. My community's awesome. What's that mean? What? That's mean. Oh, what's that? Oh, what that? What? That's mean? Or what? That's neat? Oh no. That could either be that's neat or that's mean. Oh no. What? That's mean. Or what? That's neat. Sobs. Oh, sorry running late, but also YouTube Studio isn't working properly for me. This is dumb. I wrote, same for me too. YouTube Studio's whack right now. Curse ya, YouTube. Yeah, curse ya, YouTube. Okay, I'm. This is so silly. I have his stream on open in the background. So, context. Yes, I am streaming, but I have another stream open because I wanted to watch that too. I mean, I could catch the vibe, but I kind of wanna. I kind of wanna. I wanna watch it. I wanna watch it. I wanna watch it. It's Apex. It's too like. Shoot. I some of my favorite streamers are in this collab, and so. The thing is, I don't know much about Rico just because I see BB so often. Size a bully, real, not faged. What? No sobs. Okay, wait, chill it. You don't have to use all capitals, and I know that's not my rules, but maybe it might become a rule. Haha, you're responsible for that. And I can say use all caps to a minimum. Typically, it's for when you have acronyms. I'm okay with that because it's not you yelling. It's usually just being vocal at a louder volume. Okay. Anyway, so poetry. When will I get to that part? I'm hoping, and I don't have to push myself for this, but maybe hoping, at least, to at least begin by 4. If it's 4, I'll try to redirect myself to, hey, get to the actual writing part instead of the yapping part. You always use all caps. No, you don't. Cut that out now, okay, Yuki? No more all caps. At least kept to a minimum. And so I did go over the part. I've never actually explained that to anybody. That's the reason why I wanted to have the stream, is that if I turn on the stream, is that I would talk about that, like the way that I write poems, right? This stream, first and foremost, is actually mostly for me, where I'm all like, I want it somewhere recorded where I'm like, I write poems in this way. This is why I do it for. It's sort of a lore thing where I used to write a lot of my lore in the form of poems. You got a Dazai book? Sigh. Oh, see, your lower that's lowercase. See, you lied to me. You said you always use all caps. Now you're using lowercase. See, liar. Ah, okay. His stream started. I got the notification. Yeah, it started. It started. Oh my god. Yes. No one needs to know. No one needs to know. Okay, I'm gonna take off one earbud for monitoring, and I'm gonna put in one other earbud. I have like two sets of earbuds, one set into my audio interface so I can monitor how the mic sounds because it sounds the best directly out of the audio interface. And okay, but anyway, I have another set of earbuds that are hooked up to my tablet, and so I can hear the audio on the left. And I know it's a little excessive, but I wanted to do it. I wanted to do it. I will lower their volume as low as I can. Okay, no, enough of that. Enough about that. Yes, exactly. I did say just because you listen to me doesn't make you not a liar. You can't. Okay, but anyway, hi Yuki. Uh, you said I have to not use all caps. That's still correct. It is correct. Sometimes being a liar is correct. Psy 2025. Sometimes being a liar is correct. It does make you a liar, but what you did was the correct thing. I might even use that as a line. To lie may even be correct. To lie. I don't even know if this one line will be enough for me to stem off of this and make a whole poem. I can still write it down though. Even if it's just that. I'll just still write it. To lie may even I don't never lie. Wait, that just means you lie. You said a double negative. That means you do lie. See? Wait a second, but if you're lying, then was that a lie? You had to have been telling the truth in order to mean that you're not lying. But if you're lying about that you lie, that means you're telling the truth. We're in a philosophical predicament. To lie may even be right. Or in mind, while I write the poem, because the last word means a lot when it comes to like the like rhythm, the beat, the whatever, I usually come up with a couple of different words that might work. What? Okay, so I might be like correct. I come up with a few different options. I don't usually write them all. I usually think it and then decide what word I want to use and then write it. But today, why not? I'm just gonna write it the first way that I think about it. Then I'm gonna think on it again, be all like, wait, is there any other kind of adjustments I want to make to line one? Because line one is going to dictate a lot of the rest of the poem. So usually that's where one of my strongest notes of how negative I feel inside. Sorry, I distracted myself. Guys, eating glitter glue is safe. No. Are you lying or is that the truth? Anyway. So yeah. The first line usually dictates a lot of the rest of what the poem is going to be. So I usually try to have that be like the strongest, one of the most loaded first and second, how they set up and are written together as will set up a lot of like how I want that to resolve. I usually pose like, hey, this is sort of like maybe an injustice, or like, hey, sort of this is like just a conflicting fact, or hey, this is just a statement that I just want to say. The YouTube message thing is so delayed. Wait, I have it. Wait, what latency am I on? I thought I was on. I'm on low latency. It should only take like 6 seconds. How? Wait. Can you give me like a number of seconds when you type and how long it takes to appear on screen and let me know what the delay is? Because I think it's supposed to be around 6, maybe like 7, 6 or 7. To lie may even be correct. I know that lie and right kind of like slant rhyme with each other, but I kind of want them to be different. So I'm gonna like to lie may even be correct, not right. Okay. To lie may even be correct. So that's line 1. Line 2, which is a couplet. 29 seconds? Holy moly. I think I know one thing that can help. I'm just gonna drop the quality of this. And so this is gonna use up less of the internet webs or whatever, and I can send out internet maybe faster. I have no idea. I have no idea. I have no idea if that made it better. If it's a longer message, it takes longer? Whoa, I didn't know that. Wait, type something short and then give me another value again? How long does it take? Oh, maybe longer you were using your counting. 1. Or is that just an I? I don't think it's ever as fast as 1. Maybe I was just like a test character to see how long it takes. So my goal is, I do want to write, somehow finish at least one 38 for I. Holy moly. Wait, why did it take longer? It was like short. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, maybe it's just, I think YouTube is having maybe some issues today, so we're just gonna bear with it. But anyway, so with the stream, I know, I like spaced out for a sec. What the flip? What do you mean, what the flip? Sorry, okay. I saw something and then I started thinking about something and I kind of just like zoned out and I was all like, oh no, I zoned out. And I'm all like, it's kind of awkward to return to the stream because I like, there was like kind of a gap where I just like stopped talking. Um, I'm trying to not pressure myself. I'm both pressuring myself because I have a goal that I want to finish writing the poem within, like, this stream can't end until I at least finish a poem, but I'm allowed to take as long as I want. It's so long. I have no idea why it's so long. I'm on low latency that normally goes by faster. So apologies for that, I have 0 drop frames and the kilobytes per second that's being sent out or whatever, it's fairly at a good rate, I think. So yeah, I do want to have a goal for the stream. It's just that I don't want to force myself to do it very fast, and it should be something that normally, okay, when I write these poems and I'm not focusing on streams and also not watching a stream at the same time. Normally it's like I do this alone in the dark, and it's on my phone. I normally don't do this on paper. It's only recently that if I do it during the day, I write it on paper because I can actually see the paper, but at night I can't see the paper, so I use my phone. And so when I write those poems, a lot of the time the themes come with, I have these like thoughts that I have at night. And so I'm all like, okay, I want to put those kinds of thoughts and process them so that I can have that be written and then I can put it aside. I'm like, okay, that's how I process this. And I put it down. I put it to the side and I just move on, and or like I go to bed. It's like nighttime. But so with the poems that I wrote, and I've been doing it for like a relative long time, like at least over 2 years, and I do it not like daily, but very frequently, and definitely at least weekly. And so Okay, let me take this out of my ear. And so when I do it without any distractions and I'm literally just by myself on my phone in the dark, I write them fairly quickly. They may take me as short as 5 minutes. They may take me maybe as long as like 15, 30 minutes, whatever. In the longer upper range is when I'm more distracted or I'm reading the old poems, because when I write the second poem after the first poem, the second poem has to connect somewhere, somehow with the first poem. That takes even longer than to write just the first poem. So we're just trying to today write a first poem for myself. That will be 8 of the lines, so 4 couplets, 2 lines in each of the couplets. That's what a couplet is. And so I'm gonna write like to the best of my ability, because I've never done this on stream. So I don't know if this is something I'd be nervous about, or maybe like performance anxiety. Normally I'm really good at this, but the moment I have to do this while managing a stream, it's a lot harder. Also, I'm really distracted because I have another stream on in the background. So every time there's something I want to listen to, I like look over. It would be very obvious when I look over here, and that I'm like, oh, there's like a thing that I want to listen. I know I get like FOMO. I'm all like, I want to be there to watch the stream, but I know technically I'm supposed to like be more concerned or worried about like the fact that I'm streaming right now. I sorry, today is more really loosey goosey. Like all, I don't really need to have rules for my channel. I'm all like whatever content I kind of want to make is all like that's just gonna how it be. That's how it's going to be when it gets made. And so hey, if it took multiple tries to get the stream started, that's fine. If it took multiple tries to get like chat or my model to work or whatever, that's fine. If it takes me a couple of tries or a really long time to like write the poem or explain or like introduce myself, and like it takes each of those things, like I wouldn't necessarily have to be doing those kinds of things unless it was because I am streaming. So, you know, the goal, although it's something I've achieved before, it's a goal that's harder to reach to today just because I set a lot of barriers that I need to get over in order to meet this goal. The goal is finish a poem. However, with all the distractions that come with, I want to watch a stream at the same time I am streaming, and that's that's an awful combination. Don't try to do that. I mean, some other people can, but it is really difficult for me to be able to do both. But good thing it's like that sound is isolated in one earbud, and I can always just take off that earbud when I don't want to listen. When I feel like I want to go back to listening to the stream, I can always put the earbud back in. I just on a separate device. It's on my tablet, and the stream is on this device, my laptop, with my dual monitor, and my camera hooked up to pilot my model. Okay, we're piloting my model. And with all the amount that I'm talking, I usually don't talk this much unless it's because I'm streaming. I'm thirsty. My throat is dry. I'm thirsty. Yeah. So it is a drink, but it's also a dessert drink. So it has food bits in it. And while it is a drink, and I do drink it, I get rewarded with eating little tiny food bits. There's like a spoon in my cup, and I can eat it, and I can drink it. Drink water becomes seal. I do have water, so I will grab water when I feel like drinking water. So thank you. I will stay hydrated, because when you are not hydrated, you can't become a seal. So I did write down my first, even if it's like a really crappy line, I still write it. Sometimes the line is relatively better, and sometimes the line can be relatively worse. But today, it just is something I decided to use as my first line. I was all like, this is the inspiration I'm going to take. Can I make something based off of this and see if the skills that I have from practicing writing all the other times that I've practiced writing, like, can I be able to do that while I have the stream turned on? And I put away the sound from the other stream. It's also a practice in a little bit of self-control. Something that I want to be doing instead of streaming is I want to be watching a stream, because it's like way easier to watch a stream than it is to manage my own stream. But right now, I am not I am not falling into the temptation of the stream. I'm all like I rely a lot of my like happiness is kind of dependent on like, hey, I want to watch the stream. It makes me enjoy, like, just feel enjoyment, right? From whatever happens in that stream when I watch it and I'm experiencing it, it does give me joy. But I mean, also, that's what you're here for, is that you came to my stream so that you're all like, wow, this is something, when I experience it, it gives me joy. Like, some part of you is filled with joy. I would hope. If you're not feeling joy right now, why are you in my stream? Get out. Even if you aren't enjoying yourselves, but for some reason you decide to stay, I won't actually kick you out unless you're being rude. But like, if there's anybody here who doesn't know me and are really confused by this stream, like, who is this person? Why do they talk like this? Why can they not keep their head on straight while they're streaming? Yeah, Sai is the best. Thank you for the testimonial. So this is a day where I'm feeling a lot more stressed because I have to fly soon, and also, like, before I kind of took streaming a little bit for granted. I knew it was only something that I do once a week, but it was something that I was always like, I'm all like, I always recognize, I was like, oh yeah, that gets to be the thing I do on Thursdays at 3 if I start at 3 p.m. And like, part of me was all like, oh yeah, I have that stream. Oh yeah, I have that stream. And next week I'm like, oh yeah, I have that stream. And this time I don't get to say next week, I have another stream for that week. This is going to be my last stream for a while because I'm going on vacation. I will be physically away from my setup, and I don't want to try streaming while I am abroad. Maybe I might record a video. Maybe I will post that video of like things that I did, what I did when I went around. But I cannot guarantee that. Maybe I might post photos. It'll probably very likely just like, hey, I did something. I did it abroad and I took photos of it, and I will post it online being all like, hey, I did this. In my absence, I did this. These are photos, and I took them, and then I posted them. Wanna take a picture when he's hurting? He's a better villain when he's burning. Never gonna be the one to shake my worldview. That one's on you. That one's on you. Yeah, I really love that song. I would like to cover it one day. That would be amazing. Actually, I did technically. It was an April Fool's joke, and I was all like, haha, I did this fake cover in like 1 hour. I was all like, what can I do in an hour before I had to get to class? I literally barely made it to class on time. I made that recording, I posted it, I did whatever, and then like I went to class. And I just like, I did it. I did it. I did it. And I was like, whoa, I did it. Um, I just wanted to empower myself. April Fools, I wanted to like commit to some kind of joke, and the joke was that I released a fake slash real, like, I did it, but it was only on Twitter. It wasn't like officially published, but it was published on Twitter, my own page, and it used to be pinned. It was pinned for a while, like at least like a month or so after April, and I only took it down recently, not for any particularly bad reason. I just like had new stuff I wanted to pin, so the new thing I pinned is something else. It's a poem, like how I'm writing poems today. But the old pin was that April Fool's joke where I recorded it, but it wasn't like a joke. I actually achieved something I've always wanted to do. I always thought about doing, but I never actually did it. And then so like I used April Fools as like an excuse, or a low barrier excuse, to just like okay, even if it turns out really silly and bad, I will just do it. I will just do it. Atmosphere is a song I really love for many, 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 many reasons. And maybe the person who one day is involved with that song somehow sees the stream, somehow gets to the point where they clicked on this thumbnail with this title, got to this far in the video. Hi, welcome to my stream. And they get to hear me like write one of these poems in person, or not in person, live. So, or they will stumble upon a video that is a VOD of which they get to witness what it's like when I am writing poetry live. That's more accurate. I think my all caps all caps messages send faster. You know what? Sure. If you think that they for some reason they like send faster because they are in all caps, sure, I will allow it this time where you can write in all caps under the assumption, and I'm relying on the assumption that when you tell me that you think that the captions for some reason all caps sends your message out faster, I feel like it's just a random fluctuation in like Twitter and the internet. Okay, but you know what? Let's pretend for now. You can write in all caps, and hopefully, for the time being, you will be able to send out your messages faster. If for whatever reason you do type in all caps, but that the messages slow down, like they don't show up on stream as fast anymore, then we know that the cause is some other reason. Likely, I think it is some other reason. But, you know, maybe there's a correlation, maybe there's not a correlation, maybe you are actually correct that this was like, that is the reason. We don't know how, it just happened to kind of happen that way. We are now 52 minutes into the live. I have written one line poorly, and I have written one line in my poem. Even if I, for some reason, don't finish this poem, just for, you know, let's be hypothetical here. Maybe for some reason I'm all like, you know what, I can't write the poem. I tried, and then I say, never mind, I can't write the poem. Unlikely, but let's just entertain the thought. Like, what would happen if I'm all like, how would things go if I was all like, yeah, I give up. I don't want to actually finish writing the poem. I will appreciate that I did do all the other rest of the stuff I did earlier from since when this stream started. I did at least, this was like a hidden goal. It wasn't, I didn't know that I was actually going to say all those things. They kind of just happened all in the moment. Now they're recorded. Oops. You shut your phone off. Maybe that might help. Who knows? Maybe that's like another thing that might help for some reason. I literally could not tell you the reason why. I don't understand technology. I turn on camera, silly video becomes on internet. People click. People watch funny thing on internet. People entertained. Hee hee ha ha. But anyway, I am glad that, you know, my goal is not actually to like whether or not it's not going to impact my life that much. If for some reason I don't finish this poem, I'll still be alive. Throat dry. Okay. Like, I would rather drink water than stream, technically. If the choice was always, like, for some reason, between drink water, hydrate yourself, or stream, then, like, obviously I do the thing that is necessary for living. There's, like, something in my throat. It's like a scratch. I hope I'm not sick. I might be sick. My bad. My bad. Oh my god. I have some, like, bad. I think recently I might have eaten some food that went bad, and so if for whatever reason I'm like, that's it, either my throat is dry or literally something's in my throat and I feel sick, like I will maybe potentially blame on me not having like the best food, there was like something that, you know, what I ate could have potentially got me sick. Hey, it might kick me out because I'm at Target. Oh, that was the reason. Maybe that's the reason why your messages are sending slow. Are you on not unstable internet? We figured it out. We cracked the case. It's okay if you want to like go enjoy, be at Target, be on your phone less. I just got here. Yeah, I know, but like on the way there, you had to have been on cellular data, and you're not on like your internet connection at home, and your internet connection at home is usually just better. You just walked in. Anyway, okay, I drank some water. I'm gonna put my water bottle close up to here. Okay. Let's see. It is now 4:13. Oh yeah, I told myself, I was like, hey, have you started that poem yet? It's like, oh, I think I need to just start the poem like at around 4 or by 4. So, I mean, even if I didn't do it, that's fine. That's fine. Drinking water, I do have to do that, but if I happen to not finish writing the poem, it's fine. I just need to condition myself that if I happen to not do something that I set out for, I won't at least, at the very least, I won't extremely punish myself. I would just like kind of punish myself, but try not to punish. Try not to punish. Okay. There's ducks, like real ducks or just like Target ducks, like toy ducks. Okay. I was drinking enough water. Maybe I'm feeling a little bit more like not coughing my throat out. And maybe I don't want to pressure myself. But like maybe I can start writing the poem now. Now that I've talked enough, talked so much that my throat got dry and started coughing. Dear goodness. Yeah, that's drink water, guys. I'm scared. What if I see one of my friends here? Well, aren't they your friend? Isn't that fine? What is there a inherent problem that like what would be the like cause for alarm? Like what is making you scared if you like do happen to see one of your friends here? Why would that be a scary thing? I'm trying to comprehend this. I'm trying to understand. Help me understand. What is the scenario here that like if you do see one of your friends, why would that make you scared? I need to know. I'm curious. I'm curious. I would like to dissect this, please. Okay. You know what? There is also there's like this guilty side of me. I have like a guilty pleasure side. I'm all like, what if I just like write this poem really fast so that I can finish the stream? And then if I finish the stream, I've been battling during the time that I've been streaming. There was like a part of me that's all like, oh, but what if I finish this like poem really fast and I finish the stream really fast so that I can watch a stream that I really want to be watching right now because I'm currently not listening to that stream. I have it open, but with that stream that's open, I don't want to listen to it while I am on my own stream. So maybe, just maybe, you know, what if I just let's make an attempt. I'm allowed to. Today I'm saying anything's allowed. I'm whether I want rules or not have rules, I will just allow it to happen. That's what this the main underlying goal of this stream is that everything is fine. If I choose to do this and I'm taking agency of that, it's fine if I do that. So long as I made a choice and, the thing that I, expend energy and in exchange for, like, did that meet some kind of goal that I was going for? So most young people don't want to see their friends out of school, even if they are with a parent or not. That's interesting. Is that a Gen Alpha thing? Because that's not how it was in my generation. We were stoked. We're like, holy shit, you're here too? Holy moly. Incidental hangout. Coincidental? Coincidental hangout. We didn't intend to. It was an unintended, like, run in with each other. And now you're like, we usually use that opportunity to be all like, oh, hey, we never really catch up that much. Do you want to just, like, spend a small amount of time socializing with each other? Is this a thing with the whole, like, younger generation where they're, like, not as social? So, like, they, when you're around people, you don't actually interact with them. You kind of interact through a different way to interact with them. I think that's the whole, like, digital age. If you were young and grew up with the digital age, that's just how things happen like that. It's Gen Z and Alpha, whatever. I see. Okay, so now that I've talked a lot about all this crazy stuff, I'm really like, hi, that was like a really crazy long intro. Welcome to my stream. Cygnus Sono Lumen, Celestial Swan of Sound and Light. Welcome to my stream. I've been trying to work on getting myself to say the intro. I'm all like, yeah, this is my intro. I normally don't use my intro. I don't really like to. I should. I want to condition myself to be at a point where I'm all like, oh, maybe I do want to. Right now, I kind of have imposter syndrome where I'm all like, or maybe I'm just so used to this. I'm literally kind of just so used to the way that I stream that the people who show up is mostly like, I know you guys. I've known you for a long time. That's because I streamed on TikTok. Me debuting on YouTube is not how the other people, when they're VTubers, they debut on YouTube for the first time. I didn't take things in the same approach as them. I literally just jumped in being all like, hi, I came over from TikTok. Let's talk. Sorry, my mom is making me get off my phone. Bye bye. Yeah, see, I told you. Go hang out at Target. And maybe you might run into a friend. But if you run into a friend, hang out with them, okay? Don't hang out with me. The VOD will be here when you come back, okay? The VOD for me also will be here, or the stream that I'm watching might still be going. I do one of my goals. Okay, one of my goals is I do finish my poem thing, and then I can end the stream. Oh wait, 5, 6, 7, 8. There, and I can finish the stream, and then I can watch that stream instead. I'm fighting a lot of things here. I'm fighting a lot of things. There's the feeling of, hey, anything I do today, I'm giving myself a free pass. I can do anything. And I'm all like, I'll allow it. I'll allow it. Hey, I want to take a long start to the stream. Hey, I want to be distracted. That's not the best thing. But I'm kind of just like today practicing. What if I just let go of a lot of things that I'm like holding myself too strongly about? Because like before I'd be all like, oh no, this etiquette. Oh no, that etiquette. Like, oh, this is what streaming. I had like an idea of what I think streaming should be in past times I've streamed, but today, revolutionary, changed completely. Fundamentally, I'm like, okay, but what if I stream like this? It's incredibly chaotic. Incredibly chaotic. So if I do look at the paper, I wrote my first line. I wrote my first line a long time ago, but I did write my first line. It said, to lie may even be correct. So I might try to, typically what I do is either I plan out a rhyme or I choose to make the second line rhyme with the first line. I think I might. And the first word I thought of, I just sort of just word bubble out, is all like, oh, what are just words I'm thinking of? So to lie may even be correct. Maybe a word I might write in the second line is defect. Because defects are sometimes considered as the opposite of correct. You're all like, this is, defective, or like this is, not blah 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 at a standard. And so maybe I'll write to tell the truth, opposite of a lie, may cause effect. Whether or not this is true, I'm just building some kind of meaning. Maybe I discover some way that I was feeling that this is just how it wanted to come out on the page. So it's like I discover what the poem wants to be on the spot. I'm writing because most of the time I write lines 1, 2, then 3, 4, then 5, 6, then 7, 8. However, when I get to 5, 6, 7, 8, I typically realize that 5, 6, 7, 8 might need to move around a bit depending on where I want the rhymes to end or where I want the rhymes to fit. Like, because there's sort of a musicality to it where it's all like, if it sounds good to my ear, that's what I aim for. That if this is said out loud and you hear it, that is, to me, when I say to myself and I hear it, it doesn't, it has some kind of flow that doesn't feel awkward. So I'm all like, I feel like once I achieve resolve with how awkward the poem feels, I have to go through all the awkward stages. However, once it feels resolved, I'm all like, oh, I know I finished that poem. So typically that's how I know I denote that I finished a poem, is that I read it through again one last time, and I'm all like, yeah, that came together. There's nothing I want to add. It's like resolved to the point that I was trying to make. I discovered what kind of point I wanted to make. And then once I feel like, hey, I've made the point that I wanted this to make, the point that this was trying to make, I made it in the way that it does tell the point that I was intending it to tell the point. So if I get to lines 3 and 4, I normally don't say this aloud. I just do it, and usually that's way faster. I just do it. I already know inside me with like what I've practiced. So like I know I have the skill to do it. I just rely on that. I never think about why I don't explain to myself every single time the way that I'm explaining it to you. I never explain it back to myself why I like pick this meter, pick that, pick this decision. It's all like as I'm doing it, I already know that I want it changed and I want it changed this way. I can feel how I want this to change. I just don't necessarily have to sit down with myself, be all like, and then explain to myself. I already like know it internalized. I already have an internalized feeling of like, oh, I know why I'm changing this. Like, hey, why this to me doesn't sound quite right. And I'm like, oh, I want this to change. It doesn't feel enough. That's one thing, is like the concept. I feel like if it hasn't expressed enough, then it's not enough. If it hasn't expressed enough, I'm all like, oh, I'm gonna keep working on this until like it finishes the thing I want it to be expressing. So if I can speedrun this and finish the rest, because I feel like I've talked enough for all the other stuff and parts, I want to write line 3, 4. And from 1, 2, 3, 4, I write 5, 6, 7, 8. And from what is said in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is going to relate to it. Oh my god, someone wrote Riatnus beverage. Riatnus beverage. Riatnus beverage. Oh my god. Yeah. If you happen to go on Holodecks and you input the 2 links for this stream and you set it up and you know how to set it up, you can actually see our live replay and sync these 2 streams together. So as something is happening on Ryoma's stream, it's brr time, Apex Legends, Nijisanji En, Ryoma Baron Word. So that, if you take the link of that stream that's streaming today on the, 22nd? Yeah, 22nd of May, and you sync it to this stream that is also on the 22nd of May, and started at roughly similar times, is that you can actually hear where our 2 audios sync up, where I'm all like, oh, I'm seeing something that's happening in his stream. When I go from my stream that is live, you can tell that if, when watching both of those, what stuff that I may be reacting to his stream or reacting to what is being said on his chat. Because again, like I said, I am distracted. But the faster I finish this, I can tell myself, hey, let's just end the stream, and then I can go back to watching the other stream. I have poor self control. I really want to be watching that stream, and I'm trying to like use that to like guide myself into finishing the rest of this poem. Because those were the conditions I set for myself. This stream doesn't end until I finish this poem, and I've made it extra challenging for myself because I put more stakes on the line. Normally, the stakes aren't this high, and normally, I don't force myself to write the poem. It's like right now, I'm trying to pull something out, which is different than when I casually write the poems from my bed at night in the dark. Is that I only do it when I have a poem that I feel like wants to come out and be written. So the one that I write right now, like forcing something out that might not be ready to be forced out and maybe doesn't want to be forced out, it's taking a lot longer to like, put myself in a state where I'm like, hey, let's get the poem, like encourage it out and be on paper. The lie may even be correct. To tell the truth may cause defect. I might use retrospect. Let's make this easy. We don't have to make the rhyme super complicated. Let's go with the first word I think of when I think of the rhyme. It just like sometimes just appears in my head. There's just like a word. I sort of see it appear in my head. I'm like, oh, those are words. That's a word. And it just, for some reason, it rang loudly in my head. I said, when I read 1 and 2 together, I knew one of the words for some reason was just like retrospect. So that has feelings of when I think of the word retrospect is you look back into the past and you think in respect to the retro, I am like, oh, now I see this. It's something that when you think back to then, you're like thinking on retrospect. So this line 3, might have something to do with this retrospect because I chose to have the word retrospect be in line 3 or 4. I'm gonna write it in line 3 for now, but if it needs to move to line 3 or sorry 4 from 3, then I will. If I feel like, oh, I actually like, yeah, I wanted to write retrospect, but I wanted to put it somewhere else in the poem. This is like my style of poetry. That like this is how I write. I have literally no idea if these are rules that anybody else has like they write poetry like this too. This is just how I happen to develop my natural style. Was I just like I do it like that. That's like my writing way that I write. I'm like I do it like that. So to lie may even be correct. To tell the truth may cause defect. Like I seek the past in retrospect. Oh, seek. Can't spell the past in retrospect. Because the defect already has the word effect in it, I'm trying to avoid saying effect because it sounds too repetitive. I want it to be a word that it does rhyme or slant rhymes, but it doesn't feel like, the Kansas inside Arkansas kind of type thing. So if I have the words correct, effect, retrospect, I might also want to have retrospect is like about a 3 or 3.5 kind of like syllable word. I don't know how I pronounce the T separate if I have that separate from the C. Retrospect, respect, spec, then t. There's a split between the k and the t. So retrospect. Sometimes I think about see how this word has this many syllables and broken at these parts of the word. I think about that. I seek the past in retrospect. So sometimes I think about I seek 1, 2, the path 3-4 in re 5-6 trospect. So 7-8 trospect, and then I end on a t. There's like an extra 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, just like an extra. I'm gonna mark it with a flick versus just keeping things to strictly 1 through 8. Sometimes I do 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2. I pick a lot of just ways that I group some of the sounds in one line when I write, and then when I make the couplet, I sometimes want to borrow some of that same structure, or that's what I say, like something speaks to something. Sometimes I do 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and then the next one could be like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and then maybe when I do lines 3 and 4, I repeat the same thing. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, 1 1 1, or 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So maybe I might do that, maybe I might not do that, but that's what I think of. It's like something I could do. And well, like, if that's how I want it to be written, I just write it like that. But I'm having a hard time coming up with like a word to come after retrospect, because the fourth line, as I said, that when I write it and complete this couplet, 3 and 4 have to in some way fit with 1 and 2, so that it makes some kind of cohesive message with 1 2 3 4. But again, that's how I write. That's how I've come to write. No one else has to apply these rules. You can literally just discover how you want to write, and it makes sense to you, and it helps you. The goal is that when you write that poem, I am just transmutating or transforming some kind of energy that I had, and then convert it into a different kind of energy, typically in positivity. So this is all like, I have a conflict between, when I lie, sometimes that's what's correct. When I tell the truth, sometimes that caused something to go wrong. So I wanted to be there, like, not, I don't know if it's parallels or inverses, right? Like, normally, and I'm flipping society on its head. To lie means something is wrong. To tell the truth, that should be what's correct. But in my own way of stating lines 1 and 2, I'm like, I wrote something, to me, philosophical, is that I've experienced parts of my life where I feel conflicted, because to tell a lie might actually be seen as the thing that to do then is correct. Sorry, I have to open my camera again. There was something happened. Is my camera back? My camera's back. There we go. Hello. Okay. Getting back to lines 4. I'm not even going to think about 5, 6, 7, 8. Typically, as I write 1, 2, 3, 4, I write them as 1, 2, 3, 4. Then when I get to 5, 6, 7, 8, those start, I think about 1, 2, 3, 4. So I talked about the past. Sometimes I'm going to introduce the future as a concept. Okay, I'm going to actually do something crazy. I might not have 4, relate anything to 1, 2, 3, I might set up something that potentially 8 will speak back to 4. So I did, to lie may even be correct, to tell the truth may cause defect. I seek the past, in retrospect, appears my vision of the future. So I'm doing like a, with lines 1, 2, 3, 4, I did like a B. So what I might do AAAB again, or BBBA, or BAAA, some kind of thing like that, depending on how I want this to fluctuate, or like the, there's sort of like a, I feel like when I say a word, it has like a sort of direction of air, and, or the way that the sound ascends or descends, and I want to place that purposefully about like, maybe I go left, 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 right, right, left, 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 or left, 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 right, left, 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 right. Or I do left, 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 right, 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 left. So, do you see where I'm switching between A, B, A, B, or A, A, B, 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 A, A, or A, A, B, B, A, A, B, B. So, all of those kinds of things are just what is in my head when I'm doing this practice. So in this case, what we did was AAA, B. So AA, AB. I might go, I'm feeling, maybe I might do it like this, where I do BA, AA. Or, ooh, this might be crazy. I might do, I treat the 4 separate couplets separately and go AA, AB, BA, BB. I match 4 to 5, 3 to 6, 2 to 7, and 1 to 8, but do inverses of each other. I fold it in half and pick the opposites. So opposite of 1, 2, AA, I'm going to match up to 7, 8, or 8 and 7 from like kind of like full to taco. I'll do BB. Both of those will be BB. But the reason why is because 1 on the outside and 8 on the outside are the ones that are going to be opposite to each other when they're paired. 2 and 7 are going to be opposite to each other when they're paired. 3 and 6 are going to be opposite to each other as they're paired. Same with 4 and 5. And because I established 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 is AA, AB. With the order that I established with 5, 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8, is that AA, AB, BA, BB. Does that make sense? Sort of like when you do DNA ATCGs. So kind of just AB instead of ACTG. So maybe I might do it like that. But like, those are the kinds of structures and patterns that I think of when I'm writing these types of poems. And those are the, I've been using the same logic, that type of system, for those 2 years. I had subconsciously been developing it. I knew that I was writing a poem. I didn't realize that I was like really like developing the skill that I'm all like, oh, I guess I have this skill now. I've been doing it, but I didn't really realize I was doing it. It's kind of like, you know, maybe something like, imagine picking up a glass of water and drinking it. The first time you're a kid and you do that, like maybe you're messy, you don't know how to do it, but like you're always in this like urge to like drink water because, you know, as a human you need water. So you know, get a glass of water and fill it up, you drink it. At some point you're gonna be really good at drinking water. You're all like not even thinking about it. You just know that you're thirsty and you just automatically go grab a cup of water and just drink water. Okay, before I go on to 5, 6, 7, 8, I am going to use the restroom. I'm going to mute. So I'm going to mute, and then I'm also going to go to the this page. Hello, I am back. I have snacks. Okay. So I was like, I'm gonna use the restroom. I feel like using the restroom. Then I used the restroom and I felt, hey, my water bottle's empty. I'm gonna go fill up my water. When I went downstairs and I filled up my water, I was like, hey, I'm feeling kind of snackish. Do I have any snacks in my pantry? Went over to my pantry. I was all like, I have a bag of tortilla chips and I've been meaning to eat them. Like I bought them so that I could eat them. I feel like eating them, so I'm gonna eat them. Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8. I think that's maybe what I'm gonna aim for. Is A, A, B, B, A, B, B. It doesn't have to, but that's a goal. I just like decided, like, hey, maybe for this poem, I'm gonna do it like this. It doesn't have to be that way. If I feel like changing it later, I'll change it. I'm like, but as I'm trying to think, maybe the thing that I'm thinking towards is, so like, can I get this to fit this way, the way that I planned it out? Sometimes the answer is no, and then so I'm like, okay, I'll change it. What else does fit? What could be something else that fits here? Then I like re-navigate, recalculate, like, oh, let's recalibrate. We'll recalibrate the direction that we're headed in. We're gonna go this way. You know, it's like pretend you had a north compass, but the north kept moving. So toward the direction where I'm all like, oh, I want to be moving towards this direction. What if I later realize I want to be going a different direction? I'll go that way. If it feels like I feel strongly pulled and it feels right for some reason, it just like it feels a way that it's right to go that way, I might just go that way then. I'm all like, oh, well, that feels right. And that, you know, explore that. I wanted to do that. Oh yeah, and the water. I have water. Okay. Oh wait, I just realized. I kept saying 4 and 5 are supposed to be opposites, but I wrote BB, and then 3 and 6 are supposed to be opposites. I wrote AA. Sorry, I did mean to write AA, AB, BA, BB, but the way I had explained it was a little. I jumbled it a little. Sorry. It's something I normally think inside. It's not something I actually write all this stuff out and say all this stuff out loud. So I did misexplain it. I had 3, 4, and 5, 6 are going to mirror each other, just like if you place them in the mirror, it goes A, B, B, A. But then I did inverses, where what if uh, AA and BB are just going to, those are going to be each other, but I'm gonna make those, so from the mirror, 1 and 8 should be mirrored of each other, and 2 and 7 should be mirrored of each other, but I also inverse them. I don't know if that's the way that I want to explain it, but I just made A to B, and A to B, but then for the internal structure, 3, 4, 5, 6, I made those mirrors, AB, BA. It's, it's written down, and I'm explaining the way that I drew it on the diagram of this paper. To lie may even be correct. To tell the truth may cause defect. I see the past, in retrospect, appears my vision of the future. Okay, so what I want to do here, something that rhymes with future or kind of close, or like setting something up. Maybe I say puncture. First word I thought of, took a while to think of a word. Future and puncture. Puncture rhymes to future, rhymes to future. I thought of what thing rhymes with future. Puncture is a word that rhymes to future, if future is what I wrote first. I came to write puncture after future. So now we have something like vision. Ooh, these are your visions. But then puncture, that's more of a physical thing. So I like, oh, well, what in reality got punctured? Whereas maybe in line 4 appears my vision of the future. Maybe I do something about reality. So I'm not thinking anymore. I'm in reality. The person who's experiencing this, like, if they're going through some kind of narrative from beginning to end, beginning, middle to end, the start, something that happens that follows that, and then how it ends, I might have to include reality and puncture. The feeling that I wanted to go for in that line is like something in my reality feels punctured. That's why I chose those words, reality to puncture, because I came up with puncture after future, and then with puncture, I'm all like, oh, well, what in my life feels punctured? I have the word puncture. Where can I identify a puncture in my life? That's why it feels so real, is because I wrote something about reality punctured. Appears my vision of the future, something, something, reality, something, puncture. Normally, I would stick to putting reality at somewhere closer to the beginning, because it's such a long word with lots of syllables. I don't want to throw a lot of syllables to the end unless I wanted to do that. So reality puncture, or something in between, or something before that, or something after. Or maybe I want change puncture. To lie may even be correct. To tell the truth may cause effect. I seek the past in retrospect. Appears my vision of the future. When in reality, I'll start with that. It might change. I'm getting to a point where I'm all like, are there too many syllables in this line? And because of that, I might have to change the line, might change something, make this short or something. When in reality, something punctures. When in reality, something is punctured. I'm trying to identify what in my life where in reality the thing that is feeling punctured or is punctured, either a feeling of it or it is that, or a thing is doing the puncturing or something is getting punctured. I might really flip it on its head and put puncture near the beginning. Okay, I wrote this. I don't necessarily know if I love it, but it might work. I just don't know if it'll work until I see how it fits in with 5, 6, 7, 8, and if 5 and 6 make any sense, or if it needs to change. I still write it, even if it's bad. Even if I think there's something about it that is bad. It might not actually be bad. That's the thing. For line 5, I wrote, they puncture what is reality, is how I heard it in my head. To lie may even be correct. To tell the truth may cause defect. I seek the past in retrospect. Appears my vision of the future. They puncture what is reality. I like that. Where it's going with that. They puncture what is reality. So I'm introducing a they. I'm doing that because I feel like they are the ones who actively, they puncture something in my reality. Now, I was aiming to have an A here in the 6th line. But what I do is I might do A prime. Okay, I'm not sure if this is actually what I'm going for, but I'm just gonna write it. They puncture what is reality, and tact they lack, although they're fast. I don't necessarily, if like, hey, is that working? Is that not working? I don't know. I'm just gonna write it down. It might give me something to work with. It might be utter trash. I throw it away, or I pocket it for later. Maybe it just doesn't fit here. Maybe it might fit in. It does fit, just for something else. It's okay if you come up with ideas that go unused. At least you came up with the idea, and maybe you might use it. Okay. If I can write lines 7 and 8 in a way that I'm like, hey, that's what I think can fit and make this feel resolved, I'm gonna end the stream there, and then say my goodbyes because I'm gonna be headed off. And I hope for people, I'm just gonna say this now before I forget later. I might forget later. Is that, hey, if you're catching the VOD, hey VOD game. Hello VOD gang. Hey, what's up? That I would like to say my goodbyes and thank you for all the people who come and to support me. You make me feel really happy. And that, hey, if you ever wanted to rewatch the stream, that's something I can offer to you now, is that as I stream on YouTube, it is to allow you to be able to see the VODs. And then so that, you know, there are times you just want to watch it again. You watch it, it's there, many, many, many years later. You're like, it's still out there. It's still out there. Okay. They puncture what is reality, and tech they lack, although they're fast. I might use the word tact or lack or fast to see what I can write about 7 and 8. I might throw the whole BB thing out the window, but hey, maybe what I write next might have its own logic, and that's valuable too. So what? Okay. Okay, and so something I wanted to do with 7 and 8 is that it should try to do something positive here. Oh, I'm dumb. I wrote fast twice. I might want to change this. I don't want to use fast again. I might write this. Maybe. I don't know if this necessarily makes sense. I'll say it. Rapid the beat, my heart, it thrives. Not before I wrote is fast. I was like, I already used fast. I'm stupid. Rapid the beat, my heart, it thrives. It thrives. rapid the beat, my heart it thrives. So I'm doing rapid the beat, my heart it thrives. So my heart is something that is beating rapidly because I feel like I'm alive. And I say, I'm not just surviving, it's thriving. So maybe this is a common rhyme that a lot of people use, is survive with thrive. So maybe as an uplifting message, I might have it end on survive. Or survive is somewhere in there and something gets played off of that. I might end it in a question. So that if I wrote second poem that came after this first poem, that poem would answer this question that I pose. That's why sometimes I might end it on a question. I might not even necessarily need to end it in positive though, because maybe if I just go further down, the next poem could make up for how down it goes by going very far up. So very uplifting message if you go very far down. So that's what I mean by maybe the second poem speaks and connects to the first poem. I just don't know that I will be writing a second poem to go to the first poem, and I know that is not the goal for the stream. Sometimes I write one poem, sometimes I write two, sometimes I write like 10. They're going after each other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All with like at least 8 lines, 4 couplets, right? To lie may even be correct. To tell the truth may cause effect. I seek the past in retrospect. Appears my vision of the future. They puncture what is reality. In tech they lack, although they're fast. Rapid the beat, my heart it thrives. Did I survive if something... I want to use lasts, or last. Something lasting. Did I survive if something lasts? Saw you're back. Hey, Live Loves. Hey, welcome back. I'm almost done with the poem, by the way. I finally got there. I'm like 1 or 2 words away from finishing the 8th line, which is what I was trying to do, is just write 8 lines. Did I survive if blank lasts? I want to have the word last be last. It might have an impact that way. So, and question mark. Did I survive it the last? Or it might be like aghast, blast. If I'm thinking of other words that rhyme with last or asked or fast, have an ast in it. Or I might go with fantastic. Did I survive if... It's such an awkward placement. I might move the word last. Rapid the beat, my heart it thrives. Did I survive? Okay, I'm not sure if I wrote something. I'm gonna read it out loud. Haven't read it out loud yet. Obviously, duh. I haven't even read it to myself yet, in its entirety. But I did write something. To lie may even be correct. To tell the truth may cause effect. I seek the past in retrospect. Appears my vision of the future. They puncture what is reality. They puncture what is reality. Intact they lack, although they're fast. Rapid the beat, my heart it thrives. Did I survive the pain that I internalized? There's like a did I survive the pain, comma, that I internalized. Do I put the question mark here? Do I put the question mark here? Whatever. Did I survive the pain that I internalized? This is what I mean by like I write more than just 8 lines. Sometimes there's like an extra da 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 da. Like I add in a little bit of da 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 da, a little bit of spice, a little bit of whoosh whoosh, you know, whoosh whoosh, pink whoosh, pink whoosh. No, pink whoosh. Who's seen that? Oh my god, I love that video. Spoon two left. Spoon no. Spoon two left. But anyway, I'm kind of okay with this amount of variety that we went over and explained in this one example of I wrote a poem on stream, which I knew was going to be difficult in some way. I didn't know in what way it was going to be difficult until I was thrown into, hey, this feels difficult. But I did it. Anyway, let's head over to this, boop, hey. Oh, let me turn myself the other way. Oops. There we go. Hey, what's up, gang? But thank you for joining me today. The stream, as you know, is going to be ending soon. I am really glad for anybody who was able. No, we are not ending stream. We are ending stream. Fortunately for me, I get to watch a different stream that I want to watch. There's a collab. Watch the collab. I want to watch the collab. So, thank you for joining me on a different kind of stream today where I write a poem. Where I came up with this idea last night. I'm like, hey, there's this thing that I do. And I write poems. And maybe I kind of just want to do it on stream if I can. Just cause. Also, like, I wanted to give myself like like a topic, a theme, a thing I do, or something I can do, and show it that I'm going to be doing it on stream. That's what I set out to do. I did it. I feel like I learned a lot about myself. It was very telling of like where my priorities are, and so my priorities are kind of in a whack place where I'm all like, hey, I'm watching this other stream at the same time that I'm streaming. And it would be good for me to end the stream. Okay, so you know that this is going to be my last stream before I head to Vietnam and then Japan. Or I always said it's a family vacation. It's a family vacation. Surprise. It's a vacation to a trip to Vietnam, but a vacation to Japan. The trip to Vietnam is a trip but not vacation. It's more like there's a reason that it is on a trip. The vacation part where we go to Japan is part of the trip, but that I want to enjoy that like it's a vacation. I know that the Vietnam part is going to feel somewhat like a vacation, but that sounds very, very fun and awesome. It is going to be fun and awesome. Mandatory grass touching. And so I'm going to wear my sunscreen. If you don't bring back pictures, I'll be very, very mad. I will bring back pictures. I'll like probably just like have a few pictures that I will put into OBS and be all like, here, this is a thing, and I'll talk about it here. This is a thing, and I'll talk about it. And this is a photo, and look at all these photos that I took, and these are the places that I went to. And so I'll probably bring like some kind of journal with me or something, and then I can write about my trip, or that it will probably be on my phone. But if I do decide to put down my phone and do more of like I'm using a pen and paper to write something, I might. It's probably healthier for me to do that. It has been a healthy thing for me to do that on stream with this paper and pen. With that. So, it will be. I think I posted this in the posts at somewhere on my channel. Is that there's a date that I'm coming back. It's like one of the blah 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 Thursdays, way later from now. And so I will. Oh, should I say this? I'll miss you. I'll miss you, Charters. I'll miss you. Thank you for joining the stream. Thank you if you couldn't hang out in the stream that you had to like catch a VOD. That's cool too if you want to catch the VOD. And I know I'm kind of like, I'm taking my time with ending the stream. I don't want to like end it and cut anything off. I will miss you too. Oh, thank you. It's okay. There's VODs now. You can watch this whole stream again for like the part that you missed because you were like doing a thing and the thing was happening. So you get to hear me. This is like a mad rambling stream. Like I rambled. Like the introduction took a really long time to get to the finishing the introduction, and then I'm like, hey, hi, it's me, Cygnus on Lumen. Celestial Swan of Sound Delight. I want to be able to like practice that enough that when I go on a friend's stream and I have my model and whatnot, I'm gonna be all like, hi, Cygnus on Lumen, Celestial Swan of Sound Delight. Mm-hmm. And if you've ever watched Lore 1, you'd be able to know why my name is Cygnus on Lumen and what that means and what it breaks down to. And so yeah, that's it from me. It's gonna be a while when I return. I did post at somewhere something about what date that I'm coming back, or that streams are going to be temporarily postponed for now until I come back from break at the very least, and then I unpack or I whatever, and then while I'm gone, I will document some of the stuff, and then when I return, the plan is that I will show you pictures and be all like, hi, here's a photo. Look, I'm going to talk about it. Hi, here's a photo. Look at it. This is something I did. And wow. Okay, one last sip of water for the road. And then, so that's everything I needed to pretty much get out of the way. The goal of the stream has been met. Saying my announcements. Sigh. Yeah. Sigh. It's gonna be like it's gonna be like at least a month. I'm gonna be gone for like at least a month. That's like 4 streams that are like not gonna be streamed. So you're gonna have all the other streams to watch while I'm away, but live streams there won't be any for a while. I'm sorry. On the stream we don't say sorry, but I'm sorry. And I told my announcements, I'm being like, this is where I'm going, this is what's happening, and the plan. When I come back, I am letting you know that the plan to expect for how I'm coming back is that this is what's going to happen on the next stream. It's just will be a while from now. Yeah, and that means after I've made my announcements, I gotta say bye-bye, and I'll give time for anyone who wants to say bye-bye to type bye-bye. And then so thank you for watching the stream or watching the VOD. Bye, Sai. Bye, Live Loves. Bye, everyone who stopped by spiritually or were here. And, bye to any of the people who are also watching the VODs. Bye. See you later. See you later. And good night. Bye.